It's the way that you hold your tinana. It is your body language. It is your subtleness in the way that you present yourself. But energetically, like, you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to say a lot. Your standards are schmexy and very cute. You can't help that when you play a part in somebody else's reality, you play a role for them, and in like the 3D reality, you can't help that your standards or your expectations of yourself reflect this real, essentially it's like an attraction very strongly outwardly to other people. I hope this is making sense. It sounds like I'm talking, maybe you are coming into your understanding here, because we do have the world in reverse, I may add, and I'm not going to show you because there's some things on this card that YouTube doesn't like. We've got the 8 of Wands. You can't help it. Your standards are sexy and cute. 4 of Wands. There's this like new energy of your understanding of yourself. You have, and this is what happens, and maybe you're finding this out for the first time, or you're leaning into grounding it more often in your daily life. I feel like a lot of you want to be that wahine who shows up daily for herself. It is a truth. It's you. There's this union energy that's coming through that I'm seeing has taken you a lot of inner strength, a lot of growing up quickly, growing into your new roles very quickly. I'm seeing that you made decisions. Wow. Interesting. I saw this at the top of the deck, the Tower card. It was on the top of the deck when I was yapping before with just the 2 cards out, the World in reverse and the 8 of Wands, and it was upright. The Tower in reverse has been showing up so much. I've been doing a couple of readings on Instagram as well, so if you're not a follower over on Instagram, I do actually show up a lot more over there, so if you wanted to come over there. We also had the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords come out not too long ago. In the light version of yourself, when you come into the understanding that you do have this attraction, 9 times out of 10, you are learning how to protect that Mauri, because that is your life force energy. It is all of the integrity that you hold true to yourself, in your soul, in your house, and it's that self-love energy that you have for your entire existence. It's not in this like selfish way. You understand that you have needed to get better and better and better at reading energy, better at correlating words and behaviors, understanding that you'd have to starve yourself, starve parts of you in order to see where your energy stopped and someone else's energy began. And then it's also moving through all of the intricacies of your emotional freaking stability and going through the many different layers of your masculine and your femininity, your masculine structure, your masculine mindsets and the programmings that you have, and then the feminine essence, the chaos, the formless part of your being, which is the emotions. So to have such an awareness of how attractive you are, and then harnessing that attraction to create more goodness and wellness in the world, choosing your soul contracts and your soul path that is dedicated to serving the light. I feel like there was a time and place where you resonated in the Five of Wands, and maybe this is what this World card in reverse is, like you figuring out the anxieties and the anxious attachments that you have to people, places, things, and moving really quickly. Let's have a look. So you can't help it that your standards, I feel like you are also coming out of this like hyper masculine. Oh, funny. I was looking for my headphone and it's in my pocket. So it was on my body. Interesting. King of Cups. So I feel like this is also, you can't help it that everything is the way that it is in your standards, and just like you have higher expectations of other people because you understand your needs. King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Six of Cups with the Ace of Cups and the Sun in reverse with the Six of Wands in reverse. But all is well. You have just been maybe really not feeling yourself as of late when you're watching this message. Because this is real time. Even if I haven't posted this. Timeless, something about time. You've been really delegated energy into changing your story, changing the narrative. You are understanding that you're the narrator. And I just feel like the choices that you made in life were due to your unawareness of the devastation that was happening around you, because everybody was quite unaware of themselves. But there is this like huge lack mentality that has been passed down through your generations, but it was a forced one. So this is going into past life contracts and soul contracts. So that's why we spoke about contracts before, because this energy that you're in, when we come back up, see how the energy like dipped down and now we're coming back up. You're learning how to navigate that undertow. I do have an undertow message. Yeah, and there will be more undertow messages, because I feel like this collective, you are learning how to come out of the darkness, and you're spending more time in your light body, and which I mean, you have to. you have to. And a big part of your being cute and being admired and being like appreciated and having a lot of gratitude for you is about you connecting with other human beings and you exploring playfulness, commitment, attraction, but releasing yourself from that sexual undertow. This energy is not about using the ego, using the undertow, using the shadows, the manipulation. You are done with that. This energy is fresh because you have that awareness about yourself. And when you have that awareness about yourself, you can no longer allow yourself to go back on your word, to go back on the things that you said that you were going to do, the promises that you made to yourself. So your standards, the way that you move through energy, your energy intelligence, and your oracle stance, being a healer, being a natural born healer, I'm hearing. And there is this sense of you connecting back into your roots, and that is hella attractive. That is because that's authenticity. You being able to speak your native tongue, you understanding your native tongue, you being able to go home and visit the ancestors that once spoke that language happily. You've come in at a time where you're still feeling the effects of colonization, and healing your whakapapa is about understanding your standards as a descent of your whānau and what that means, because when we go back into our ancient times, our ancient codes, it is important that we understand how to navigate with our ancestors and address that counsel, come before spirit, come before energy. And a lot of this is about your soul having mana, you having mana in your human reality to be able to carry the mana of your soul. A lot of our humans have a lot of emotional damage that weaken that part of ourselves. So we step into spaces and a lot of people get possessed because they're just so weak spirited, and this is due to colonization. This isn't the human's fault. This isn't about blame or shame. This is about coming into your energy of acceptance. I feel like acceptance has been something that you have been moving through in the shadows, and the acceptance of it in the light is that you can't help how you are, how your energy is. It's just been in the wrong hands. You learning how to help yourself through navigating of who you are, navigating your soft and sensual self, navigating the masculine and feminine wholeness of yourself, accepting that yes, some people do require a little bit more of your masculine energy, and others require that soft, sensual, connective, intimate energy more than others, right? And if you're a mother yourself, you're gonna be at times extremely overstimulated with all of this nurturing energy and all of this like cuteness and the sensuality. And if you're learning how to be that in your home and allowing your children to be exposed to that sensual energy that a mother holds, it's so important that mothers are connected back into that feminine sensuality, because that is where emotional awareness is growing between a adult and a child. So, you know, a lot of the millennials, if you're watching this, you may be a millennial. You may be who knows, you might be a boomer as well. From Gen X, and then there's the silent, I forget what the other word is, the silent something. Anywho, the reason why I'm yapping about this is because it is important to keep up with how society is structured as well. When you understand the structure of something, you're able to understand more fluidly the chaos of something. So when we're talking about energy and wairua, even if we're talking about the breath, we're talking about the tinana and the nervous system and all of that, all of those have masculine and feminine qualities. And when you break it down, when you understand that about yourself, you're able to have that awareness on what is being presented to you in that situation, in that moment in time, in that time and space, and how it correlates to your abundance. I feel like that is why you can't help it, is because you do have these standards, and you can't help it. You can't help that you're elevating. And this is also why your feminine embodiment is so important, to practice what you preach, pretty much. It's not fake it till you make it anymore. It is, I know this and I'm going to share this with love. Faking it till you make it is something that you're proving, and that is a real liability in business, in energy, in exchange, in investment, right? And we are in the investment season. We are coming into our harvesting season here in the southern hemisphere anyway. In summer, when the sun is shining and people are more happy, that is where a lot of wellness can take place. And to break the cycle out of the shadows and going back into the undertow, it's about keeping this sun, this radiant energy that you have of yourself, moving and merging with the 3D. Okay, so when you are working on yourself and you're cultivating all this energy, don't actually be surprised when people want to do things for you, when they want to appreciate you, when they want to invest in you, they want to listen to you, they want to hear you yap. They want to better themselves, and they can see they have this like mirroring effect happening to them, that they can see this within themselves and they want to explore that part of themselves. So your detachment of things, your standards, your protocols, your ethics, we call this tikanga in my culture, or kawa, the law, understanding the laws. There are laws. There are things that you do and you don't do, and that is for protection, but that's also really smart. You don't want to do all the things. In fact, soft girl energy, soft girl life, soft girl living, which is also you being in your soul's purpose and dedicating your life into that, whatever that looks like to you, whatever contract you choose, again, is all literally about the soft and the loudness of being really secure in yourself. And that's where you've landed, and that's where you're moving through. So yeah, you can't help it that your standards are sexy and they're cute, and that this part of your learning is learning what you are now attracting. It's not what you've attracted in the past. Time to put that to the side, detach from it fully, wake up every morning and envision that it's dead. That's honestly what I do, because I've had a lot of death, like physical death in my life. I've had my biological mother passed away when I was 14, and then my stepmom passed away over the last recent years, and I'm 35, so lots of death. So I understand this this representation of death when people separate on earth, when they're alive but they choose not to be with each other, and there is like a death that happens there. And there are many contracts that come into our lives, soul contracts, contracts that we create. If it's karmic, then you can plead insanity against those. I go a lot about this in my my coaching and mentoring. If you want to jump in on those, you can find the links in my bio. But it is about working through those intricacies and waking up every day and being like, actually, it's dead. I don't need to worry about this anymore. Keeping it light. When you work in the light body, it is literally keeping it light. Keeping things at a capacity where you are in control of yourself. Other people that you're dealing with are in control of their selves. Everybody's conscious. Everybody's in body. That is what helps you sustain being well watered. Where are we at? We're at 20 minutes. I'm going to actually go into this King of Cups just for a hot minute. There is a King of Cups here coming with an offer. So you're well watered, like the way that you ooze femininity, this sexiness. You are being seen as this King of Cups. Oh, but I feel like there's this masculine energy that is mirroring a feminine part of you. While you're like sitting pretty in your Empress energy, your feminine energy, your princess, Empress, princess, 2 wands, fast, moving very fast towards your goals. All of this is attractive. Yeah. The way that you love yourself, the wholeness of yourself, your nurturing energy. You're really sure of yourself. The moon. To the point where it's actually created a pathway. There is this energy of you grieving being the catalyst as well. I feel like there has been a lot of energy that you've had to keep light because of the contract that you were in. This King of Cups, I feel like, is actually in your life. This is like a whole side message, by the way. I'm just going to channel this in. It feels important. Feels like it's quite light on the heart. There is a King of Cups here. There is an offering here. It's a mirroring back to you. I feel like this man, yeah, has like forced you to look within yourself. I feel like this sent you into a inward motion, and that is how you have cultivated a very sensual life for yourself. This union is very divinely protected. I feel like it came in at a time where you didn't expect this to come in. It actually feels like you were both moving through different various heart connection healings. Like you've come in with your soft sensuality, and I feel like it's actually been a catalyst for someone else as well. The way you move quickly, the way that you move the way you move with the moon, although I don't know if this person understands how you're so the way that you are. It's almost like they want to find a fault in you to sabotage, because there's this like unworthiness that comes up. The Fool. Oh, and Death. The Fool has been coming up a lot. And I'm hearing forgiveness. There is also the Death card here with the Moth. The Moth is attracted to the light. There's like a silence, a deathly silence. This person you could not be in no contact with. And there's this silence, like radio silence. But you're still very much this portal, this mirror. You've represented something now. I feel like you have actually put a cup in this man's hand, and you gave him a lot. You gave him a lot of grounding in his emotions, a lot of things for him to think about, to ponder. There was a lot of crown and soul star activation that you have achieved with him. And this is just like you being your sensual self. You didn't do anything spectacular here. You were just yourself, which is, in soul form, fucking the most spectacular thing you could ever do. Cherry picking. Picking cherries, picking berries, or a cherry picker. Oh. I feel like you're taking concepts that you've had and you're working on those. There is also this sense of like you being at the highest point and it not being what you expected, particularly with the Fool energy. And I feel like with this detachment energy that you're moving with this divine masculine, whatever you guys are going through, it is all about detachment. It's about mastery of yourself, moving through temptation, moving through keeping those standards high, because that is what is attractive about you. There has been a situation that you moved through. I feel like you're learning to forgive yourself for how you acted. And there is a lot of like sympathy, empathy, a lot of apologetic energy moving from your heart towards this masculine energy. So I feel like you're taking a lot of responsibility in this situation here, even though you're in no contact. This isn't, there's like no bad blood. There's no bad blood whatsoever. Your sensual self is also making it difficult for people to be mad at you, so they have to take a different approach. But I feel like you also speaking your truth and you saying, well, you're like this, okay. I feel like you accepted the terms and the conditions and you ran with a contract here. And it was hard for you. That's why you're in the Queen of Pentacles energy. You've experienced a lot of death. You've had a new beginning that was exactly what you were conjuring in, but it wasn't actually what you thought it was going to be. So you're living in that, but you're still being seen, heard, felt, understood as this portal to a whole different world, a world that is peaceful, a world that you can build in. Yeah. There's a lot moving in the background, and I'm just hearing mind your own business. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. So if you're in no contact with this person, don't seek them out. Don't stalk them. Don't, if you're thinking about them, cut that cord. Honestly, if you want this relationship to work, if you want your standards to not be compromised, if you want your boundaries to stay intact, if you want to have your dignity intact, if you want to keep your peace, then leave this man alone. Honestly, he'll come back. There will be answers. This may be in a dream state though. So it's really important that you hold your energy light, because you have, I feel like you've got absolutely no idea how this is going to end. And this is also a part of your uncertainty, but also keeping it light. It's about, if you have some type of heart pain that you're moving through, keep it light. Keep yourself steady. Stay focused on the path. Stay focused on the plan. Move humbly. Move with intent. Move with that surety that you know that when you follow your heart and you move with clarity, that you are passing all those tests for yourself. It is sometimes the initiation through death. So keep going. All right. I love you. I hope this resonated for you. I hope this helps you. And I'll see you in the next video.